Uh, nah, not me either. That's all right. You know, it's a fad. You know how people.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, bro. Hey man, real quick before we jump into stuff, bro, like what is on your this is a question that I ask everybody who comes on. What is on your tube? Like what you watching right now?
Oh man, to be honest, I don't even catch too much TV, but when I do, man, I'm like the first 48 kind of guy. I like
Okay.
those kind of shows.
Okay. Like so outside of that, like you ain't watching no series or anything like that?
Nah, I was watching, was it The Witcher on Netflix?
Okay. Yep.
I watched that not too long ago. I finished all that in one day. So I kind of took away from
Okay.
my little
Yeah.
series I usually
Yeah.
watch. But
Yeah.
usually I'll catch like some random action movies on Netflix or you know, or just watch like the Forensic Files and in first 48, that's my joint right there.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
All right.
New viewers, welcome. Returning viewers, welcome back to Baseline and Goal Line. I am Alan Colbeezy Colburn, and in the building with me right now, 2006 state champion, U.S. Army All-American, 2009 Big Ten Player of the Year, 2009 Big Ten First Team, 2009 Champ Sports Bowl MVP. Should I keep going? Let's keep going, bro. Wisconsin Badger running back. Pittsburgh Steelers running back. John Clay is in the building. What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
What up, man? I appreciate you having me, man. I
No
appreciate
doubt,
that.
bro. I appreciate you coming on, man. It's an honor and it's a privilege to interview you, man. I definitely appreciate it, bro.
No, thanks for having me, dog.
The reason for the platform, and I get into this with a lot of people that come on. You know, I like the fact that I can give people their flowers. You know what I'm
Make sure
saying?
you like this
And
video and
um,
subscribe.
just from the brief interactions that we've had, and I tend to have this conversation with a lot of people that I have on. This is for you to brag a little bit. Don't be humble. Don't be the humble John Clay, man. This is for you to brag a little bit, man, to come on and talk about your sports journey, man. So I really appreciate you coming on, man, giving me an opportunity to interview you, man. It's definitely appreciated, man, for sure.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me on here, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
no doubt, man. Before we get into everything, what I normally do is I like to do a toast. So
Yeah.
I got my
Let me
1800
go
here.
ahead.
Yeah, go ahead and
Casamigos.
yeah,
Got
man.
special shot glasses that made with salt. So
Oh, really?
yeah, my lady got this for me. It's a special.
Okay.
I got a shot glass that's just pure salt. So take a shot just like that.
All right. So it's like you could taste the salt around like everything too.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
wow, that's legit. Okay. So what we always toast to, man, is to life, health, wealth, and last but not least, sports talk. Salute.
Little man.
Okay, bro. Now we can get the show popping, bro. So I just want to start from, your career has a lot of layers to it. Okay, so I really want to start from your high school and then work our way up. Okay,
All
so
right.
just to give a brief synopsis and a background and an overview, you're from Racine, Wisconsin. Were you born here?
Yes, born and raised here. Yep.
Born and raised here in Racine. Okay, cool. And just from like your youth days, when it came to sports, did you play anything else besides football?
Yeah. Actually, I started off in baseball, or softball, little league softball, and
Okay.
then I got kind of bored of it. And I told my dad, like, I want to do a contact sport. I want something exciting. So
Yeah.
found my way into football. I didn't start as a running back. I started like as a tight end kind of deal, just because of my height. And then kind
Right.
of developed and develop into running the ball and becoming a running back.
Okay. And even when you play youth league, I'm assuming you play RYS and things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
like even in the youth league, did you start off as you said you started off as a tight end?
Yeah, I was a tight end at first. Yeah.
Okay. Did you play any defense in while playing RYS as well?
Yeah, I played either linebacker or DN.
Okay.
Mostly
Okay.
linebacker.
Okay. So let's just go to like more towards your high school career. So your freshman year, you ended up going to Park High School, right?
Yeah.
Was it a question as to where you were going to go for high school? Did you always know that you were going to go to Park?
Yeah, I kind of knew that from leaving middle school and stuff. Time I was living right across the street from Park High School, so
Okay.
I was like, yeah, definitely going there. And then also, it was just back then it was almost like the running back that's where you want to go.
Okay.
Hearing, seeing, the Brett Moss to, Justin Kyles to Eric Hamilton,
Right.
all those guys, Corey Turner, just hearing about all the running backs there coming up, and just that's where you wanted to be if you was a running back.
Okay, got you. Now, when you started your freshman year at Park, did you start playing varsity right away?
No, they bumped me up to sophomore my freshman year, and then when the playoffs started, then I got put up to varsity, and I was a starting outside linebacker in a playoff game against Arrowhead.
Wow! So your first playoff game, your first taste of football as a varsity football player, you started right away at outside linebacker, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
Very first game. Wow. Were you nervous? What was going through your mind at that time?
Oh, absolutely. I was nervous. I didn't want to mess up, I got the opportunity to, be on the big stage back then and going against some big boys. And I think it was Arrowhead or Heartland, one of them we was playing on. And just going against them, I made a couple big plays. So we still lost the game, but, as a football player, after you get like that first hit or that first contact of playing, all the nerves kind of go away after that.
Yeah. So just give a synopsis. Who some of the names of the players that were on the team that year, your freshman year?
My freshman year, the biggest standout for everybody knows Zach Davis.
Yep.
Okay. He was the guy.
Okay.
You had the Bodner.
Yep.
He is up there, the starting quarterback.
Okay.
Who else? There's a couple of them out there, but the biggest one people remember is Zach Davis for sure.
Zach Davis. Okay, bet. Okay, so the summer going into. First of all, let me just ask you this real quick before we get into that summer. Around what time frame did you feel like you had something with football? Like that this could be something that could take you places?
I got my first offer.
Okay, so it's later on then. Okay, so we'll get to that then here in a second. So if it's later
on.
It's
my freshman year. Yeah, it was my freshman year I got a first offer.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, my freshman year.
Okay.
Yeah, it was from, what was that? I believe it was Western Michigan. I think so, Western Michigan, something like that.
So, and I'm assuming
first offer from them.
Okay, I'm assuming this was after the playoff game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you showed up good enough in that playoff game as an outside linebacker. Y'all lost that game, you said?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So one game as an outside linebacker, and you end up getting your first letter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's dope. Okay, so now you feeling yourself. You're going into your sophomore year. Not like that, but since it's a bragging show, yeah, you feeling yourself. So you feeling yourself going into your sophomore year. Entering your sophomore, like the summer of your sophomore year, did you know that you were going to transition to the running back position, or were you still banking on playing defense more so?
Nah, I kind of knew I was transitioning running back. The coaches saw me doing my thing as a freshman on the sophomore team. And then, I was doing real good and shined down there. And I got a couple carries my freshman year too. In that playoff game, I got a couple carries, had a couple runs, decent runs there. So I kind of knew that my go-to would be running the ball. I just knew going in that year, I believe, I don't know if he got hurt yet or what, but Phil Johnson, he was the guy. Mm-hmm. And I think he might have, I think that's when he tore his knee maybe that year. And then he was pretty much out majority of the time next year. So I kind of knew, I was going to be sharing the backfield with him at least at that time being.
So going into your sophomore year when you started playing on the offensive, more so on the offensive side of the ball, I know that you said that you played it, your freshman year, but your sophomore year, you were more so sharing time. You were splitting carries with Phil at that time before you got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. And you were also playing defense as well?
Yeah. I was playing defensive end. I didn't play too much because after he got hurt, majority of the time they just had me running the ball. I really didn't have to play defense. So majority of the time I was on the offensive side. I started really playing defense going into my junior year and all that stuff. Okay.
So as a sophomore playing this running back position, were you able to, at this point in time, were you good at reading holes and reading gaps to run through, or were you still kind of raw? Okay.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. That's the very important part of being a running back is having the vision to see the play happening before it even happens.
Right.
So it's like, able to read that as a young age, it kind of followed me all the way up there. So it was easy for me to transition to each level of play when it came to playing the running back position because I could see it happening before it happens, or, I could see something developing before it gets done.
Okay, so let's just stay there real quick. So when did you realize that you had that gift to see plays ahead? And I'm assuming that you're talking about even getting to the second and the third levels of the defense, like you saw it ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah,
so when did you?
I think it just happens, man. It just
it
just happened for me. Like you can see from the motioning of the defense or watching film, you can kind of see anticipate what you think they're going to do. So it's a mind game on if you doing what you need to do by reading everything and seeing things happening how you saw on film and just going with your gut instinct.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, and I'm some of these questions I understand, but I'm just asking these questions because just to dummy it down for the casual fan who may be watching, I just want to give them a perspective as to what goes into somebody who's played on this level and what goes into their mind when they're reading defenses and stuff like that. So that's the reason. That's more so the reason why I asked that question. Okay, so you splitting carries your sophomore year. How well did you do as far as statistic wise and yardage wise your sophomore year?
I want to say I probably got like 1,400 that year, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And double-digit touchdowns for sure.
What about the fumbles?
I think, yeah. I think I can't remember. Maybe one, maybe.
Yeah, no. Say that with your chest out, man. Yeah, just one, bro.
I'm just trying to remember if I did or not. I flipped it back one time to somebody.
Okay.
And I got yelled at for doing that.
Oh wow! Like a lateral?
Yeah. It was like 2 seconds left in the half, and I was just trying to keep the play alive.
Right.
And I saw somebody behind me that had my jersey. So as I was falling, I just flipped it back to him. And he caught it, but he got smacked right away. And then I got yelled at by my coach Thompson. He just told me to just keep the ball next time.
That's funny. Okay, so At this point in time, your sophomore year, what interest are we gaining? Like, what is the momentum that you're gaining your sophomore year? First of all, let me ask you this: did you make any? Were you all conference? Were you all area? Were you any of that your sophomore
Yeah,
year?
I was I think I was first team offense and all that stuff, all conference,
Okay, all state.
all state too. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so what? So now I understand. This is your sophomore year once again, but now I'm assuming that there's a lot of momentum coming your way when it comes to colleges and
Hmm.
interest in colleges. Um, at this point in time, and of course we'll get to this with your college career later. But was Wisconsin coming to you as a sophomore?
Yeah, that was I believe it was them. Pretty much majority of the Big Ten, Michigan, Ohio State, then had some down south schools, had like Tennessee and Miami, all those, hovering around and watching and paying attention.
Okay, but was okay. So at that, but did you have any official offers from anybody as a sophomore, or were they still just showing
No,
interest but not an actual offer?
they were showing interest, getting the
Hmm.
handwritten letters and all that stuff like that from the coaches, and they come into the games and will pop up to the school from time to time,
Okay.
just to see what's going on.
Did you um did you understand the magnitude of all of that at that point in time? Like, was it sinking in
Um,
as to how big this was?
Somewhat. I knew, those are all big schools, and
Sure.
everybody know their schools or everybody know about the schools. So it was kind of, the buzz was kicking in the whole school, and people seeing those kind of coaches come. And I would even say, you know what, I did have offers to all of them by then, my sophomore year. I did
No,
have
this
offers. Yeah.
that's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, man. We're gonna take a drink to that. We're gonna brag to that. We definitely gonna take a drink to that for sure. Okay, so now you buzzing. Leading to the summer, going into your junior year, I'm already assuming that with the interest that you got, your workout regimen was already crazy. Did anything change going into your junior year? Like, did you decide to, to because now you buzzing, like now it's coming. Did anything change with your workouts? Did anything change with your mindset? Did anything flip?
Oh yeah, man, I went nuts. My sophomore year summer helped me out big time because I ran track my sophomore year after football season, and then
Okay,
I got a trainer for the whole summer before leading up to my junior year. Eric Harris trained me. It got me like crazy prepared for my junior year, and that's when we was doing photo shoots out on the field, had magazine shoots that whole summer because the storm was coming and they kind of felt it. I felt it, so I really dedicated my sophomore summer to getting ready for my junior year and trying to be the most unstoppable thing out on the field. And I trained hard. I did what helped me, like I said, was track. Then having my trainer the whole summer, I just locked in, didn't do anything besides work out, eat right, uh, got crazy fast. At that time I was getting clocked in a 4.3, running a 40, my going into
wow.
my junior year. So it was
Were you
like I was like heavy committed to, exploding that junior year.
were you still at that point in time? Were you 6'1" at that time?
Yeah, I was yeah. Well, yeah, I was 6'2", 222. I remember 6'2", 220.
Going into your junior year, you six, so a man child, 6'2", 222
Yeah.
going into your junior year. Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um. All right. So of course we're gonna get to your senior year. When was your first like? And it may be backwards. So, but I don't want to miss anything. And like I said, this is to give you your flowers. When was your big write up to put the world on notice that okay, John Clay is coming?
Probably that first game of the year when we smacked Oak Creek. Because Oak Creek, was the guys. It was the dogs.
Yep.
Through our division and stuff like that. So that first year, I went nuts against Oak Creek. I don't even know how far of a run it was, but I think it had to be like a 70-yard touchdown, something like that. And then I dived from the 5-yard line to the end zone, scored. And after that, man, it was just like, the papers and everybody, they was like, this team might be something special, or this guy is going to be something special. So, after that first game of the year, it was just
this your junior year? Okay.
Yeah, this is my junior year. Yeah, it was mumbles at the end of my sophomore year, like, hey, we might have something here, or he might be doing something good going into my sophomore year. And then my junior year, when I locked in that summer, my sophomore summer to my junior year, that first game of the year against Oak Creek, we just put on a clinic. And then now all eyes is on us to see what we can do.
What year was this? I know you said your junior, was it?
It was my sophomore year, so I think it had to be like that 04, 05.
And then
that year.
So your junior year was 05, 06?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because y'all won state when? Your sophomore year, junior year? I mean, your junior year, senior year?
My junior.
So that's when y'all won state. Okay.
Yeah.
Put in perspective, man, because I know when it comes to basketball, you could become an All-American at, I believe it's junior and senior year in high school, you could be a McDonald's All-American. Is it the same situation when it comes to football, or is it just your senior year that you become an All-American?
Yeah, it's just your senior year, you become an All-American. They, as we talk about it, they came down, came down to park, even came to a game because we played a game on a Saturday, so they was able to watch a game. I did like the whole introduction in front of the crowd and took pictures.
That's not
family
normal.
And all that stuff was down there. No, they don't never get to do it for a game. So,
no, I mean, is it? That's not normal for a high school game to be on a Saturday. It's typically Friday Night Lights, right?
Yeah, it's Friday night. I think it was the summer. I mean, my junior year. When we go back to my junior year, that's when the shootings was going on at Park Horlick game. It was a shooting and all that stuff. So the following year, they made it into when we played Horlick, we played them on a Saturday.
Right. So they can have more security and everything like that, right? Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. So I'm assuming at the time when the U.S. Army All-American team came down, that was on that Saturday when y'all played Horlick?
Yep.
Makes sense now. Wow. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. So now we just full-fledged. This is your senior year. We're full-fledged. We going now. We have probably, top schools at this point in time that was recruiting you and that you were considering. Once again, we know you ultimately ended up going to Wisconsin. But what were the top schools that people know now? That when you think about the lineage of college football, was it pretty much every school in the country?
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. I had Texas, I had USC, I had, Tennessee, Miami. Any school you can think of, I had an offer from to come play ball.
Okay, so where did you take visits to?
I only took 2 just because I really didn't care for the visit stuff. I went to Madison and then I went to Iowa. So
what was the reason that you didn't care? What gave you that mindset to just say, I don't care about this stuff? I know you're a humble guy. I know this. But bro, like, this is different. This is what a kid dreams of, to be wanted and to be recruited by all these different schools, right? So, and you're highly touted. You're All-American. You have all of this shit going for you. So what in a 17 or 18-year-old's mind says that I'm not going to all these damn schools? I'm only going to take 2 visits. And then the 2 visits that you take, wait a minute. The 2 visits that you take, Wisconsin, okay, granted, I get that. But Iowa, when you have Texas, when you have all of these other schools, why Iowa?
Because I had a good connection and a nice bond with the head coach. We talked all the time. their offense was similar to what I loved from the zone and the power game. Got to meet the staff when I went there. It was really, I really felt like home, that got that home feeling when I was there getting recruited by them. But I was supposed to go see Ohio State, but it was a big snowstorm. And they was playing Michigan. I think they was number 1 and number 2. I was supposed to go Ohio State and go see that game. And, I couldn't make it because it was like a snowstorm. I would have went to that one because I got family in Ohio. So I would have went to that one for sure. But it was a storm. And then, he was like, if you would have came, you would have met like Michael Jordan, Derek Jeter, all those guys. You would have been in the press box with them, this and that. Like, the whole 9, they would have put out the red carpet, but it just didn't work out that way, and I didn't get a chance to go to that one. And I didn't really care for doing the traveling and going to smooth and meet people and everything like that. I was just about ball.
No, I get it, but this is so mind-boggling. I mean, once again, man, like, ever since the day that that we actually interacted, once again, I just got to keep saying this just to put it out in perspective how like of a humble person you are. But I just can't fathom, me personally, I can't just fathom somebody 17 years old with everything at their fingertips, 18 years old, however old you were, that year, your senior year, with everything at your fingertips, and you have all of these high majors, teams that can actually go to the national championships and everything that's at your fingertips, and you take Madison and Iowa. Ohio State, I get. That was an opportunity for you to go to Ohio State too. Mm-hmm. Alabama? Were they?
Alabama? No, not Alabama, no. USC, I would get letters here and there. Yeah, USC, Texas, Miami, Tennessee. Tennessee was heavy in the mix of it too.
So you got Big Ten in there. So you got, and the good thing is you have the 2 best conferences in college football with the SEC and with the Big Ten. Depending on, I'm pretty sure you would say the best conference in college football is the Big Ten. But
Absolutely.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I love it. But to a lot of the masses, they would say the SEC, just because of the how stacked it is from top to bottom.
Right.
I go back and forth each year, just depending on who is where in the college rankings. I'm a Badger fan myself, so it's an honor to do this because I'm a Badger fan myself when it comes to college football. But it's back and forth. So, so you end up ultimately choosing. First of all, let's go back really quick. That senior year, what do they do individual rankings also as far as like where you rank in your position?
Mm-hmm. Some polls I was number 1, some I was 2. It was between me and Noel Devine and Chris Rainey. So
Chris Rainey too. Okay.
So one poll I was number 1, he was number 1, and vice versa. We was both. I think it was 4 or 5-star recruits.
No, if you're number 1, you're a 5-star. There's no 4 if you're number 1. That's
yeah.
No,
it depends on each ranking.
Okay.
It was like 3 different. It was like 3 different ones, just like rivals, another one, and another one. So if you, out of 3 of them, 2 of them, you number 1, then you essentially the number 1. Running back out of that.
You was top 100. Rivals top 100 in the country. Period.
Yeah. I won Player of the Year. Old Spice Player of the Year in high school.
Oh wow! Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, see, this is another reason why I love doing this shit, because I feel like I do a pretty good job with doing research and doing my homework, but I also find out things about people.
Yeah, so I remember that. I got the plaque. It came in the house randomly. And I was like, "What's this?" And then I remember it because it was a whole bunch.
Oh, so you didn't know?
I didn't know anything about it.
Wow.
I absolutely did not know anything about it. I just remember seeing a whole bunch of names on there, and then my face was like in the middle of it, saying like Old Spice Player of the Year, this and that. I'm like, oh dang! I was like, I didn't even know anything. and I had like a whole bunch of Alabama people on there, like people that played at the school Hoover that was on TV at the time. I was like players on there. I'm like, man, I said I didn't know anything about this.
So that's crazy that you mentioned that, because you would think with a big accolade like that, player of the year in the country, Old Spice player of the year in the country, you would have got tipped off to that somehow. Like somebody would have reached out to you and said, yo, big play, you about to receive the Old Spice player of the year in the country, but you didn't know anything about it?
Mm-hmm. And then also Pat Summer,
Somerville.
Pat Summer. He did like a voiceover. Like they came and did all that stuff.
Wow. Did a voiceover and everything. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was high school was kind of nuts, man.
No, what you mean kind of?
After winning the championship, and then like it was like schools from Michigan, Ohio State, everybody coming to the school wanted to see me. And people that never got the opportunity to see those kind of, like, even regular students never got to see like those kind of coaches and those kind of schools coming there.
That's what I'm saying. Which is why I said earlier, bro, like 2 visits. This is nuts, bro. This is crazy.
Yeah, and I didn't really take a lot of visits because they came to me. Of course, they wanted me to come there to see the campus, so they would come see me. I remember I was in Spanish class in Ohio State. They all came down. They pulled me out of my Spanish class. They had all their national championship rings on, just flossing it, just wanted to talk to me real quick to see how I'm doing.
Bro.
And then another time it was Wisconsin. They was all in the locker room. There was like 5, 6 of them in there, just all chilling in the office, just wanted to see me, to come in there and holler at me to see how I was doing.
This was Brett, right? Brett Bielema?
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, and then it was like then getting phone calls from Coach Alvarez all the time. So it was like high school was crazy, man. Being able to have all the accolades I did have, being 2-time Mr. Wisconsin for football.
Talk. We're gonna drink again. We talking. That's what it's for, man.
Just being this 2-time Mr. Football here, and then all state honors and all that stuff. It was a roller coaster, man. It was crazy for a little while.
But so did you remain, and this is a dead ass serious question, because at this point in time, bro, like how did you keep the main thing? Like how did you keep your focus? Is that your daughter in the background?
Yeah, she get her.
How did you keep the main thing?
Man, I just had a goal. I had a goal in mind that I wanted to be the first one in my family to go to university, D1 university. Didn't have my parents have to pay for anything for me. That was another goal, that all my school to get paid for. So I had like plans I had set up, and I was locked in. I was laser locked in, and I was just motivated to get all those accomplished so I can be like, hey, Mom, hey, Dad, you ain't got to worry about school.
You ain't got to worry about nothing. Exactly. Yeah, that's dope, bro.
That was my mindset, and and just having both my parents, in the household, and just keeping me humble, just letting me know like all this stuff get taken away from you at any given moment. So just be thankful.
So you had a 2-parent household.
Yeah, I have 4 older sisters too.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah, so that just that's the support system that you had kind of kept you grounded.
Absolutely, yeah.
Got you. So you ultimately end up choosing Wisconsin, and I think I understand why you ultimately end up choosing Wisconsin. Running back you, number 1, and typically the offensive lines for Wisconsin, they're gonna move mountains and let you do everything that you want to do when it comes to running the ball. And I think it's fair to say that Wisconsin's their style is a pro style offense as well, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
those definitely was majority of the reasons why. And another one, the major one was, man, I want to be home. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be home because if anything was ever to happen, I could shoot home in no time. My parents come to every home game. They came to all my away games. They missed one away game out of the whole time.
You remember which one it was?
And, it was Michigan.
At the big house. Okay.
Yeah, at the big house. That was the only one they missed. Other than that, they went to Hawaii when we played Hawaii.
Yep.
They came to Hawaii. So they went to all the bowl games. So, like, people that know me, I'm really a family-oriented guy.
Okay.
Like, that's why I do a lot of the things or made choices I did, because I wanted my family to be around and be able to enjoy it like I did.
That's dope. That's dope. Real quick before we get into the Wisconsin career, got a couple rapid fire questions for you, okay? All right, you ready? So, favorite running back of all time?
Jim Brown.
Jim Brown's your favorite?
Yep, that's why we're 32.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. Okay, so somebody as young as you, what drew you to Jim Brown?
Man, just his style of play, man. He was my size, you know.
Right. Right.
And then just the way he played, how he would get up slow after being hit so many times to let the defenders think that they got him finally, and then next play he busts open a long run for the next one. Okay. So it's like just taking that mindset.
You take that? You took that moniker? You took a little bit of that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, okay. I took it all, man. Just acted like I got beat up, and then I was hurting to get up. The next play, man, I'm punishing somebody and I'm scoring. So
that's dope, bro. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah,
okay.
That was my guy.
Okay. Favorite road stadium to play in the Big Ten?
I would have to say I love the Big House, man. The Big House,
Michigan.
I think they had the most fans.
Was it like 110, right?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, it's up there. Yeah, it's just loud and the atmosphere is crazy. It's electrifying. And it makes you, it's motivated you.
I was just about to say, I'm assuming when you can shut them up, it's a lot better too, right?
Oh yeah, it's just, you can hear a pin drop in the stadium when something happens.
That's dope. That's dope. Okay.
Yeah.
Juke a defender or run a defender over?
Oh, I'm running them over all day.
Okay, I kind of figured that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Best hangout spot on Wisconsin's campus on a Friday or a Saturday?
I would have to say, what was that Drake song where he said it was like Vegas, Texas, something? You had to go with the Nitty Gritty, Wandos, and then the KK at the end of the night.
So it was a three-headed monster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you had I gotta break it down because the Nitty Gritty, that was Power Hour. Power Hour, $1 drinks per hour. So you start your night there. Wandos, you go there, you get the fish bowls, you get a couple of those, and then you rotate to the KK at the end of the night. That's where all the athletes, all of them go there. Everybody go kick it at the end of the night there. So that was a three-headed monster.
Got you. And we'll get to the other three-headed monster with you, Monty Ball, and James White when we get to Wisconsin. Though we'll get there.
Oh yeah.
Your first feeling when you were involved with the jump around?
It was like surreal, man, because I never seen that ever. You see it on TV,
right,
and then you actually there in the stadium and you seeing everybody jumping around. It's just like no other feeling that could compare. People enjoy it, they have a good time, and then you get out on the field and you start jumping around with them. So
and the opposing team too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Okay, so So you finally get to Wisconsin, but your first year, you had to sit out your first year, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What was
the reason? My choice.
That was your choice. Okay, go ahead and elaborate on the reason why.
Yeah, that was my choice. It was like, well, we got some running backs ahead of you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, whatever. He's like, well, we can use you on special teams. You want to just, do special teams. I was like, nah, I really didn't come here to do special teams. So I was like, I just focus on my school. You know, like little, like this, people really, some people know, some people don't know. It's kind of like breaking news, but I almost didn't get to go to college because I was a fraction of a point away on my ACT score.
A
So
17, right?
yeah. So
Okay.
no, you had to get I think it was an 18. You say I think it was an 18.
No, but I'm saying that you scored a 17, correct?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So then
Okay.
for me to be able to pass NCAA, clear everything out, I had to go back summer school after I graduated and everything to take my freshman English and I think it's the sophomore class over again just to get my GPA up because I was playing around those first 2 years of high school. So it kind of came back and bit me. And then I was able to go back. I was able to go back, get those up, and then got qualified. And I was on the first team smoking up out of here to go up to Madison to clear out for that. But I just wanted to focus on school that first year.
Who was there at running back your freshman year? Sorry about that. Who was there at running back?
No, you're good. It was PJ Hill.
Okay.
Lance Smith. And then that was
and this is this is the freshman year that you sat out, correct?
Yeah. Okay. And then it was I believe it was those two and Zach Brown. I think he was a true freshman that played. It was both running backs, the same class.
Got you. Okay, so leading up to your sophomore season, right? Or to your actual freshman season of playing, but this would be your sophomore season in actual enrollment. Okay. So your
redshirt freshman.
Yep, your redshirt freshman in the 2008 season, you ended up with approximately 900 yards rushing, 155 yards. Or I'm sorry, 155 attempts, and 9 touchdowns. Put your first year of college ball into perspective for the people that's listening, and then also what adjustments did you have to make to the college game that first year?
Most definitely the speed of the game. Playing against linebackers is running 4.5s, 4.4s, coming downhill. You have to adjust your gameplay with theirs because they're gonna meet you in the hole before you can even go there. So I would say definitely the speed of the game, and then understanding the play, the whole play, and just not your assignment. Because if you know what your wide receiver and your offensive line is doing, then you can kind of dictate off of their move and see what you need to do to get an open play or open run. So definitely the speed of the game and just knowing the offense.
How important is it more so to look at, the tight end, the wide receiver, as opposed to look at the center, the guard, and things like that. Like I understand sometimes especially if it's a running play, you understand more so the assignment. I'm assuming. So help me out if I'm wrong. But I'm assuming you understand the offensive line's assignments more than you understand the wideouts, the slot receivers, and things like that, right? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like running back and O-line go hand in hand.
Exactly.
If you don't know what they doing, then you ain't gonna know what you doing.
Exactly.
So by seeing them, and if they're pulling guards pulling, or you got a tight end pulling with a guard, you gotta see where they're going so you can get off their hip to see what hole you need to hit. So if you guys are not all on the same page and the guard's going the opposite way where it's supposed to be going, 9 times out of 10, you better follow that guard because he's seeing something that you may not see yet, or if he can't get through the hole, he's gonna make another one for you. So learning and knowing what the offensive linemen do is like critical for a running back.
So your freshman year of playing, I keep saying your sophomore because I'm thinking about the enrollment, but the freshman year that you ended up playing, can you give me a perspective of like some names of the people who you were playing with? Who who was the quarterback at that time?
The quarterback was
Tolzien came later, correct?
yeah, Tolzien came later. What is his name? He was a transfer. He transferred from I forgot where he transferred from.
I got you. Don't worry about it. That was
Things
the
like Allen.
2008 season, right?
Yeah.
So was it? It wasn't Mertz, was it?
No. He's this year. I want to say his name was like Allen.
Oh yeah, Mertz is this year. I'm tripping. I'm thinking about why did it pull up that way when I just did that. So was it? Let's see.
Wait, 2008. Yeah.
Dustin.
2008 year.
So we have Tolzien was on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
You also have Dustin Scherer.
Dustin Scherer, yep, him.
You have
it was somebody before him.
It was someone before him. That's all that's pulling up right now.
I want to say it was like Allen something.
Okay, but then also you had Nick Toon was on the
Yep, wide receiver. Yep. And then we had my guy trying to think of Sears, linebacker.
Yep.
And then we had Travis. He was at Oak Creek playing tight end. Travis Beckham.
Mm-hmm. He
was a tight end. Then we had a couple first
PJ
round.
Was
yeah,
PJ
he was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. He was a running back there. PJ Hill. Yep. And then we had Lance Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had Lance Kendricks.
Okay.
So we was kind of loaded off the side of the ball coming up.
So your freshman year playing, you know, I gave you the stats. What bowl game? Do you remember the bowl game that year?
Yeah, we played Florida State.
And
I think it was the Champs Bowl. Champs Bowl? I think so. Champs Bowl.
I thought the Champs Bowl was 09 when you won the MVP.
That was the other one too.
Oh, so you played Champs back to back.
We went to the Champs Bowl. You know what? We went to Outback Bowl first. That's when we played against Tennessee, but I didn't play. I redshirted that year. Then the following year, it was Florida State, and that was the Champs Bowl. And then, the following year, it was a Champs Bowl again against Miami, and then the Rose Bowl.
Yep, right. So we'll get to the other Champs Bowl here in a second. So how did you guys fare in because I don't, it's not.
Well, we got blew out against Florida State.
Did you? Who was with Florida State that year? Like,
I don't know. We got smacked against Florida State. I remember that game.
Okay. You remember the game?
Okay. Because what I remembered about it was like I was in the backfield lining up, and all the linebackers had gold grills and smiling, and I just got to laughing like, man, they out here really playing in grills, like they out here thugging right now.
So it wasn't mouth guards. It wasn't
it was there. There was them slugs in
wow. Because you know how sometimes, you know what I'm talking about, right? Some people play with the gold grill mouth guards or whatever. These were straight.
Nah, that was them.
Oh yeah, okay.
That was them.
Yeah, they was different. They was different.
Oh yeah, and then the one dude, I remember he caught a pick and did a flip in the end zone, and it was just crazy. We was getting smacked bad, like we got smacked that game. Okay. And I remember at the end of the game, one of the linebackers came up to me. He was like, "Man, our whole game plan was about you." I'm like, "About me?" I was like, I wasn't the starter or nothing. I didn't start. He was like,
"Was it PJ that started?"
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the coach was like, we can't let him get going because basically they was saying, this is when I was coming up, like he's a potential Heisman candidate. So we gotta make sure he don't get off, or it's gonna be a long day for us.
No, we definitely gonna get to that too. We definitely gonna get to that, to the Heisman situation and everything too. We're gonna get to that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so dedication that summer, because is it safe to say for you, and I'm just looking at it statistic wise, but I know sometimes statistics aren't the end all be all, right?
Mm-hmm.
But is it safe to say that the 2009, which would have been your sophomore season, was that the best season that you had at Wisconsin?
Uh,
Because that
yeah.
year, okay, that year, and of course, we'll get to that. You was the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Big Ten first team Offensive Player of the Year and everything. So that year, and I'm asking that because you mentioned, when you started hearing the buzz and you started, you locked in between your sophomore and junior season in high school. So now you coming off of this loss in the Champs Bowl, and you hear the Florida State players saying what they're saying about you, like our whole game plan was surrounded around you. Did that give you like an extra motivation to lock in again that summer, or were you already
I
locked in
think
to the point where you already saw what you wanted your goal to be?
a little bit of both. That was just extra fuel on the fire. I kind
Sure.
of knew PJ, he was leaving. He was
Mm-hmm.
declaring for the draft. So he was leaving. So then it would have been me and Zach Brown uh, fighting for the starting spot for
Okay.
being the running back. So then kind of locked in, got back. I wasn't never not focused, but really honed in and locked in. What did I need to do to become that featured back and all around back?
So, at what point in time did you get the nod, and did you get it from the coaching staff that you were going to be the feature back?
Um, it really wasn't a nod because that year I didn't even start the first 2-3 games of the year.
You didn't?
No, but
So,
you couldn't
so
tell though.
that's the reason why I said it the way that I said it. Like, bro, like what? You didn't start? Who started in front of you?
Zach Brown, he did. My coach Bielema was trying to put it out there, like that's gonna give me motivation to want to start and do all that other stuff. I'm like, no, it's not. I was like, I don't
That's
care about
Isn't
starting.
that ass backwards? That's kind of ass
Yeah, I
backwards.
was like, I don't. Yeah, I was like, I don't care about that. I'm like, I'm not the starter, but I'm getting 32 carries a game, like, and I'm in the game majority of the time. I was like, that ain't
So
nothing
I
but
don't get
just
it.
a notch.
Right. What was the purpose?
I don't know. Probably thought it was gonna be extra motivation to get me going and everything else. I'm like, that don't work on me.
That's crazy. Okay, so as I previously stated, right? So you end up winning offensive player of the year your sophomore season. I want to pull up something really quick, and it may not even necessarily be within the same season, of course, but this is I just want to show you some stats really quick because I want to get you to look at these stats, and I want to get you to I don't know why it's an ad coming up, but matter of fact, let me do this real quick. Let me stop this share real quick, and I want to just play this real quick because I want you to respond and react to some of this stuff. Because, once again, man, this is about giving you everything you deserve, bro, these flowers and stuff like this. So I just want to play this for you. And I believe what I'm about to show you is from the next season with the three-headed monster that we'll get to here in a second, but I still want you to react to this really quick, okay? So these are some of the highlights that I have here. This is against UNLV. And you know what the dope thing is about you, bro? You never really like celebrate. The only thing I seen that you did as far as celebration, and that even that I remember by watching you play, was that you jumped up in the arms of your offensive players. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
You always gave the ball right back to the defender, or right back to the ref. You never really celebrated like that.
Right.
Was there?
Yeah.
What was the purpose of that?
I took that Barry Sanders mentality, man. It's like
Got it.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Which
was my favorite back of all time.
Okay.
Yeah, Barry Sanders is my favorite back of all time. This is against who is this? Minnesota. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is going through your mind looking at this?
Just how it make me miss ball. That's
Yeah,
and how
which is
how fun it was, and how like this is something that can never get taken away. Like just being Ohio State when they was number one. Something like that. Like
this was the
that
game
will
here, too,
forever.
right?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
this is the game. I broke their streak. I think it was like 3 years they hadn't had a running back rush over 100 yards on them.
Audience, you hear that? I broke their streak. Yeah, I love it. Drink to that.
So that was something special. Yeah, it was something special for us. Being able to do that at home, night game, all eyes on us. Game day was there.
I remember this game.
At home.
I remember
it was
this game.
Like, we couldn't. When we took the opening kickoff, it was over with. And after I saw that, man, I was like, it's over with.
Yeah,
I said, we're not losing.
Oh, so you already knew it?
Yeah. I was like, we're not losing this.
What gave you, like, what was it, something that you saw in Ohio State's eyes and that to say, like, okay, I know for sure it's over with. They can't beat us right now?
I think it was more us than them.
Okay. Yeah.
We had that mentality that we wasn't going to lose. We was locked in. It was just a different feeling overall for all of us in that locker room. Like, nobody probably outside the stadium or the state can believe that we're going to beat them, and we finna shock the world.
That's dope. That's dope. So you're and once again, I kind of jumped up ahead, but I thought it was time for some highlights, man. We was talking, and I needed to show you some of these highlights. Once again, I want to give you your flowers, bro. So back to the 2009 season, 1,500 yards rushing. You had a long of 72 yards. Was that against UNLV?
Yes.
UNLV, yep. Okay, and 18 touchdowns. So we are at your sophomore season. This is the year that you won the Champs Bowl, that you won the Player of the Game or MVP for the Champs Bowl. You still got that trophy?
Oh yeah. 1 second.
Yeah, I like it. I love it.
1 second.
Yeah.
1 second. It's a little dusty, but it's right here.
No, okay, I like that, bro. No, come on, sit down. Sit down with it. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna sit down with that, man. Show that real quick. So the Champs Bowl, MVP, MVP of the Champs Bowl says Wisconsin against Miami. Yeah, I like that, man. 2009. At this point in time, do you remember where you finished? Because like I said, you were Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year. You were Big Ten first team. Were you getting any Heisman buzz at this point in time?
I was getting a little bit, especially towards the end of that year.
Move that trophy into the frame, bro. We're gonna keep that in the frame for the rest of the show. Yeah, definitely. Go ahead.
It was some buzz about it. Yeah, especially when I said I was coming back, and then after we beat Ohio State and all that stuff, that buzz was really like kicking, and then it was seeing what happened the following year and where I would be at and everything like that.
That's dope.
So it was a buzz about it, yeah.
Yeah, and then and this is going into your 2010 season, but that summer, you still weren't able to declare for the draft because you've only played 2 years and you have to play 3 full seasons, correct?
No, you have to be 3 years out of high school. So I could have left.
That's right. So were you getting any good feedback about what your draft status would have been?
Yeah, like if I could go back in time, I would have left.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah,
that was one of the
I would have left because that was the year of the big backs. Like you had who was that? Mathis. He played at I forgot where he played at. He got picked up in the first round by the Chargers. He was my height. It was like the year of the big backs. Was that year.
What was that the year? I believe it was. What was the guy's name? Please, I can't think of his name right now. He was a running back for the Giants, and he was a bigger back too.
Brandon Jacobs?
Was it Jacobs? Was that the year of Jacobs? Yep. See,
no,
okay.
he was I think he was before me.
You think he was? Me. I thought he was. I thought he was with the championship team. You could be right.
You know what?
You could be right.
I could. I remember that because it was a year of the big backs. I remember Ryan Matt. I think that's his name, Ryan Mathis. I think he was. He played for. I think he played for like UNLV or somewhere.
Okay.
He's playing. It was like the first couple, like the first round. It was like maybe three running backs that went that year in the first round. I could have been potentially in that conversation, being a big back coming out that year. But, you know, me being the person I am, man, I came back because I saw we had something special with that team. And we all came together and was like, and we want to go to a Rose Bowl. We want to win a Rose Bowl and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then that's why I came back.
The Rose Bowl. Yeah, y'all got to the Rose Bowl the next year. But, you know, so here's what's crazy, right? So you got a person, and I think I see a trend now. So you got a person that could potentially go off and make millions of dollars to change his family's trajectory for the rest of their lives. And you decided to come back. But I understand, because of the previous conversation that we had, when you decided not to take all those visits. It's kind of a trend where you are, it's almost like, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but it's almost,
loyalty.
You said what? I didn't hear what you said. I'm back.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, what you said, what was the reason why you didn't leave?
Loyalty. This is a loyalty thing, man. I don't know, it was always that. Because they invested in me and gave me the opportunity to play there, and, you know, we got a chance to do something special.
Right, and I guess somebody on the flip side, they can say that you have a family that you should be loyal to as well, where you can change their lives. So, but I see what you're saying. I definitely see what you're saying. And once again, it makes sense because of the previous story that you told me, you know what I'm saying, about you not taking all those visits. So go ahead.
Yes. You know, I thought about it, you know, but it was just a quick thought. And I was, you know, invested in wanting to do something that hasn't been done since, you know, Ron Dane, you know, going to the Rose Bowl, being that back to hold up the trophy, you know, in the Rose Bowl ceremony and all that stuff. I wanted to be that guy. Yeah.
So, what was your draft prospect? Where were they projecting you to go?
I was, well, after the Rose Bowl and all that stuff, when I put my papers in.
I'm sorry. I'm actually talking about. I don't know why this thing keep breaking up.
Around.
I'm sorry. I was actually talking about more so that sophomore season, after your sophomore season, the season that you said.
Sophomore season. I didn't put my papers in. I didn't put them in to see what like kind of round I would have looked at to get drafted.
Did your agent or did anybody give you an idea as to where you may have fell in the pecking order?
No, I didn't get an agent until I left, because if you got an agent, then
yeah, that's true. That's true. No, that's right. That's right. But so let me ask you this then. Did your coach inform you of where you could have landed? Did anybody know? Okay.
No, nobody knew really. They knew, you know, I probably had the opportunity, you know, to go and all that stuff, but, you know, just me being me, I kind of killed all that, you know, buzz
real
about
quick.
going.
I got you. Okay, so now we're at the 2010 season, and this is when we got James White coming in. James White was a freshman that year, right?
Yep.
James White was a freshman. You also have Monty Ball that's there, but you still managed to have over 1,000 yards rushing. You still had 14 touchdowns. And even to a degree, you missed the last 3 games of the season, right?
Yeah, yeah. And
Oh,
then I had off-season surgery on my ankles too. So I had my
going
ankles
into your
done that
going
summer.
into your senior year. I'm sorry, going
Yep,
into your
my
senior
last
year.
year there. Yep.
When so you injured yourself. I'm assuming you injured yourself in the 2009 season, your sophomore season.
No, no, it was no injury. It was I had bone spurs in my ankle. So, every time I
Mm,
rolled my ankle, it'd take me longer to, recover because they had extra bones in there floating around. So I
got
had
you.
an extra bone taken out. I had scoped and all that stuff. So, you know, that summer, no lie, it was rough for me. I didn't get to train like I wanted to because I was hurting, and I put on a lot of weight too that summer too, just because
I was
my
going to
ankle.
get to that. Yeah, I was going to get to that because, and then we'll get to that also with it coming to your draft status and your draft and everything because that was if there was one quote unquote knock. I don't like to use that word, but if it was a
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote knock, that's what a lot of people said was just your weight control, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so but you still once again you still balled out and if I'm not mistaken, we previously mentioned this, but you were highly talked about as one of the Heisman Trophy winners this year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Coming into that year, it kind of fizzled out a little bit after we lost to Michigan State, and
Okay,
then the buzz kicked back up. They was like, oh well, he needs to be in the topic again. After we beat Ohio State,
got you.
when they was number one, and then that's when I sprained my MCL for a couple of games. So then, after I got hurt, it was like, you know, they just gonna kick me out the conversation.
You was um you was on the cover of Sports Illustrated too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
a photo
Yeah,
of the year. Yeah,
yeah. That was the year before, right?
yeah, that was a Michigan game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we got that too.
Uh
You go
huh.
ahead and sign in these.
That's
So this was that Michigan game. This was the 2009 season, right?
Yeah, that one. And that's me signing this stuff when I was with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They came to my apartment then.
Oh wow, so this is after the fact.
Yeah, this is after the fact. Yeah.
Speaking of which, man, I need to talk to you offline because I got this Sports Illustrated.
Oh, I got you. Got you.
Yeah, we'll talk offline. But this is when you with the this is when you with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So it fizzled out a little bit. I think was that the year the 2010 season? Was that the year that Cam Newton won it?
I think so, yeah. Because yeah, yeah, because we all went to the same award show.
Right, but you still ended up at this point in time though, right? You still ended up getting you were a finalist, if I'm not mistaken, right? You were a finalist for the what award was
Bill
that? The
Walker.
Dirk Walker Award, right? With
Yeah, the best
Michael
running back in
James.
the country.
Yep, with Michael James and what was it, Kendall Walker?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, he was at Oklahoma State, I believe.
Oklahoma State and LaMichael James was at Oregon.
Yeah.
Who ended up
Mm-hmm.
winning it?
I think Kendall.
Kendall
Yeah, I
Walker
think he
ended up
won.
winning it. But the reason, and I'm assuming, and this is my reason, this is the lob that I'm about to give you using basketball terms. I want you to dunk it. I'm assuming it's because you missed those final 3 years. I mean those final 3 games.
Yeah. And then I wasn't able, you know, to put up numbers anymore just because, I was out those 2.5 games, 3 games. So I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't able to get over, the high amount of yards I had the year before.
Right, of course. So let me ask you this: humbly or not humbly? No, we're not gonna do humble. If you would have played those last 3 games, 2 questions. the Dork Walker Award, you would have won it. I'm assuming.
I feel so, yeah.
Okay. What about the Heisman Trophy?
Heisman, probably not. Just because I'm in the backfield, I'm sharing the ball. You know,
True.
I'm sharing the ball with two other running backs, and like I'm pretty sure Cam would have won it regardless because he beat what was that, Alabama or somebody when they was number one and they went undefeated and they went to national championship and won that and all that stuff. So I'm pretty sure he would have got it regardless. I just feel I would have been probably up on the stage. I would have been like in the finalist.
You would have been a finalist. Got you. Yep.
Yeah, I feel like I would have been a finalist. Yeah, for sure. But winning it, probably I would have had to do like something crazy, to be able to, pull that off.
But I'm assuming that that's something crazy since you have accomplished everything that you've accomplished in your career. You probably would have thought that you could have accomplished something crazy to be one of the finalists. Yeah, exactly. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So what I want to do really quick, man, is I just want to give people a synopsis of the 2010 that last year's roster, because we have some names on here that actually needs to be shown. So once again, we have Nick Toon.
Yeah.
Really quick, we got Nick Toon. We had, if I'm not mistaken, okay, so Devin Smith was there. Yep. Who was the start? Was Scott Tolzien was the starting quarterback at that time?
Yeah, he was a starting quarterback. Yeah.
James White, who played for the Patriots.
Patriots, yeah.
We had Monty Ball, who played for who's championship. Matter of fact, Super Bowl winner for the Broncos. We also had J.J. Watt.
Yeah.
I'll get to him in a second. Everybody know who J.J. Watt is, of course. Of course, you. We had the Trotter brothers, right? Both Trotter brothers were there, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And I had, hold on now. That offensive line was something serious.
No, look, I don't want to go past it real quick because these were your peoples.
Yeah. So you got Gabe Karimi. He was a first rounder for the Bears. You got Kevin Zeitler. He was a first rounder to Cincinnati.
Okay,
you got John Moffitt. He was a second round pick to Seattle.
Okay.
Then you have Frederick up there. He was a first round pick to the Cowboys. Travis Frederick.
Everybody knows. Yeah, Travis Frederick for sure.
It was the Cowboys. And then
I think he retired like what was it last year or the year before?
Oh, you got Robbie. He just won the Super Bowl with the
Yep. With the Rams.
With Rams, yep.
Yep, with the Rams, yep. Lance Kendricks.
Yep. And then you got David Geary, wide receiver. He was one of the Steelers with me for a little bit.
Okay.
And he went to Seattle.
I like this, man. Go ahead and give them their flowers too. Yeah, definitely. Keep going.
Oh yeah, man. I gotta show my guys. There goes J.J. Watt.
Yep, JJ. Yep. Yeah, man, y'all was stacked.
We had a lot of first rounders, man.
No, y'all was super stacked, and y'all ended up getting to the Champs Bowl. How did y'all fare in the Champs Bowl? I'm sorry, the Rose Bowl that year. Sorry about that. The Rose Bowl.
We lost by 2 to TCU.
TCU, which was crazy, bro. Listen, man, I lost so much money. I lost so much money, but at the same time, the game was great. It was a good game, and yeah, man, it was. I lost so much money that game because I was at that point in time I was still in the military. I was just getting out, and we froze one more time.
Oh, you breaking up?
I'm back.
Okay.
But yeah, I lost so much money that year. I was just in the military, but I was actually about to transition out. And
Hmm.
I had a dude that I was stationed with that was from Texas.
Okay.
And so, of course,
Okay.
one of those situations, yeah, we ended up betting.
Yeah.
I think we bet like a $300 bet or something like that. And then my other homeboy who was from Texas, I bet him like $100. But I ended up losing some money on that game, man. Y'all let me down,
Oh
bro.
yeah. Yeah. Right.
I need my retribution. Listen. I need I need some get back, bro.
I know, Sue. Me and you both, man.
So, um, okay, so the season is over with, and now you forego your senior year,
Mhm.
right? What what was the difference between this time foregoing your senior year and before, which the year before coming back?
Um, it was just I wasn't at a a good space then. I was ready to make that new chapter from just what was going on and stuff.
Okay,
Um, you know, Me and my head coach didn't see eye to eye too much anymore.
okay.
And then I just had to,
Do you know the
you know,
reason why?
um, we just bumped heads, man. I felt a certain
And
type of
this
way
is
about.
this is still Bielema at the time, right?
Yeah, yeah, this
Okay,
him.
I just want to put it in perspective. I knew that, but I just want to put it in perspective. Sorry
Yeah,
about that.
you know, we just kind of didn't see eye to eye. After I got hurt and stuff, he
Hmm.
didn't want me to pretty much be the feature back anymore, which is fine or whatever the case is. But it's like as you go on the history, you know, the starting running back that got hurt, they never really lost their job. They always got right back into it to prove them
Right,
that they can still keep
right.
it.
The we could
So
keep it.
I didn't like how he tried to do me. The one game that was finally healthy to come back, he tried to put me in the game with 2 minutes left in the game, and it was cold. I didn't warm up. I didn't do anything. And then he tried to throw me out there. I went in there. I went one play. I ran somebody over. I was like, man, I'm not playing. I was like, it's cold out here, man. I was like, I'm not
You remember the game that you came back? Who was it again?
a Northwestern game when we beat them by like 70.
This was like what this was your junior year. What I forget which game it was. Which game was that? Like
That was the
in the
last game of
schedule.
the year. It was Northwestern.
Okay, that's right. That's right. That's
Yeah,
right. That's right.
it was a Northwestern game. It was cold, and I ain't warm up. I didn't do anything. He just threw me out there, and I just felt like that was a sign of disrespect to me.
Did you know that you were going to play that game?
I was out there running and playing and doing everything, just showing them I could do everything. So, potentially I thought I was gonna get in there early in the games to see where I was at and everything, but they waited until like 3 minutes was left in the game and they tried to put me in the game.
Nah.
So I was
Okay.
like, nah, I'm good, man.
Yeah, I get you.
And he
So
got mad because I didn't want to celebrate with him in the locker room. I'm like, oh man, I'm good. Like, I'm happy we won and all that stuff, but
right.
I didn't like how that move was.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Do you kind of um not necessarily regret, but do you wish you could change that? Are you good with
Yeah,
it?
that's I would have left.
Okay. So you would have did the exact
If
same
I would
thing
have
that you ended up doing anyway.
Yeah, I would have no. The year before I would have left.
Oh, the year before. Got you. Got you. Got
Yeah,
you. Got you. The year
after
before you
that
would have
Miami
left.
game, I'd have left. But guess everything happens for a reason.
And you
You
still had a
know,
pretty decent year that year too. Your senior, I mean that
yeah,
last
yeah. And at the end, it kind of backfired on him. You know,
year.
if you go back and watch the Rose Bowl game, you can see the ties change when I'm playing the game in the game playing, and everything just is shifted different. And you know, I had people coming up to me saying, they was upset because I didn't play, you know, and I felt the
I
same
mean,
way. I
I
felt
was
like
I
if
was upset
if
that you didn't play because with what we previously spoke about, I was upset that you ain't play.
yeah, I said if anything, if we could have won a Rose Bowl, it definitely could have been that one if I just got a couple more carries or played a little bit more. I for sure I would have guaranteed a win with that one.
Before we get to the draft prospect, throughout your this up to this point right now, who do you think that you saw with your own two eyes, college was the best defender that you had to go up against? That it was like it was a chess match.
I have to say my own teammate. I never got a concussion before until I got hit by my own teammate. That would have been Jonathan Casillas. He got 2 Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, I know Casillas is sure. Yeah.
So going against him in practice all the time, like, him just being, a very smart linebacker and knowing where to go and all that stuff.
I'm glad you mentioned it because I was about to say linebacker too. Okay, cool. Yep. So
yeah, he is a smart linebacker. He challenged me every play. And when I redshirted that year, I was going against him every day in practice. So I was going against the number 1 defense every day in practice. So it did nothing but help me later on at, my following years there to prepare me.
I'm glad you said that because it debunks the myth that a lot of people think that when you are redshirting that you can't practice. I've heard that so many times, but you're still able to practice and everything.
That's all you do is practice.
Right, exactly.
That's all you do.
Exactly. Okay, so we finally get to the point where you end up leaving. You put your name into the draft. What are you getting as far as the buzz? Like, what are you hearing right now as to where you could go?
That's probably like 3rd round.
Okay.
End of second, 3rd round.
All right. I want to play something.
No, you good.
No, we're going to go back and I want to because we're going to get this real for real.
I'm Eric Gettle with a draft profile for Wisconsin running back John Clay, brought to you by Verizon Fios. Clay has outstanding size with strong thighs. He charges downhill with a head of steam and is a load to bring down. He was named the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year back in 2009 and has played in a pro-style power running scheme that showed he can handle a heavy workload. However, Clay is inconsistent.
Inconsistent, bro? Really? Why?
Why it's funny. It's funny people say that. They never wanted me in the passing game. They wanted the little running back.
Oh, wait a minute. Time out. You know where this is going. Wait a minute. Before you
weight is fluctuated.
Get there.
He lacks long speed and is seldom used as a receiver. Clay is a big downhill runner with good feet who has enough run strength and agility to become an effective complementary back if he's able to keep his weight and conditioning in check. He showed renewed commitment following this season, however, dropping roughly 40 pounds. And PFW draft expert Nolan Araki says that if Clay could stay motivated, he could compete for a job as an inside runner. Araki projects Clay as a priority free agent. Make sure to follow us on Twitter.
Well, first of all, we ain't following you nowhere. That's first and foremost. Number 2, bro, let me ask you this, man. It's crazy because he said that you're inconsistent, but then mention your weight, but then said that you dropped 30 pounds or 40 pounds. It doesn't add up. That's first and foremost. Number 2, he says that you were projected to be a free agent. Is that what you were hearing going into the draft prospect or to the draft that year?
No, when I put my papers in.
For all the latest draft.
I'm sorry.
You
say it again. Sorry about that.
I said when I put my papers in and stuff, they said I'm projected to be 3rd roundish, around there.
Okay.
For getting picked up. But that's funny, man. Everybody always say that about the passing and all that stuff like that. I was never used for it.
I don't understand. I mean, I don't remember, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a lot of Wisconsin backs that don't get utilized in the passing game like that. Right?
Yeah, it used to be like that, yeah.
It's not a focal point really, right? Because it's a pro-style offense. I don't remember a lot, like I said, and once again, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, they did, especially in the swing game, the screens and stuff like that, like Calhoun and all those. Okay. They gave it to the little backs, like I was saying, like the shorter back. They wanted me to just do the pound the ground, you know, in the trenches. That's what I was used for. And if we need the screens or something like that, they'll bring like Monty or James in and let them scat backs do it. Exactly. So that's why, I never really, you can see like the most catches I had was the year I won, MVP of the, and I had like, 10 catches, maybe 5 catches that year.
Crazy.
Because I started telling, I was like, hey man, I was like, let me catch some screens, man. I know how to catch, and coming down the line, that was kind of like a downfall because they didn't see me doing that kind of deal.
So you actually went, did you go to the coaches and say, I need to add this to my repertoire because it may look good, not necessarily look good, but
I also told them like, hey man, let's switch it up. Like when they see me coming to the game, it's not always, running.
Got you.
And we would do the fakes and we'd do the, the swings and all those kind of passes and things like that. But when it's like primarily me getting the ball, no, like they wouldn't put me in for no screen, or if you got like a quick angle route I have to do, they wouldn't put me in for that.
Got you. Okay, so you are at this point in time, like you said, you are thinking maybe third round and everything like that. Did you guys throw a real quick before we get to that? I want to get to your pro day. Really quick, and I want to just show this.
The one part that they're going to want to see him today is probably improve that 40 time, but also in the individual drills. John's a big back. It's what he is. He's very productive when he can run the ball efficiently, and I think he's at that state.
We're joined now by John Clay. John, how do you think you did today?
I think I did pretty well. Being able to catch with Scott again, and then also being able to do some cone drills, better my time from the combine.
So what are the questions you think they have about you?
The big question always been is my weight. If I can keep it down, or, how long this is going to stay like this.
You look like you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I feel good.
What do you weigh?
233 weighed in today. I feel real good.
It's so dope because you knew exactly the number. I love it.
Get better the more you accept your weight, the new weight.
Yeah, it was a little struggle just because I lost so much weight so fast, and not being able to adjust to my lower weight, and kind of threw me off. But time and time, I'm getting better.
I'm joined now by JJ Watt.
That's dope, bro. So your pro day, what was it still? I'm assuming that the time frame that you said that you were getting the third round picks or whatever was after your pro day, correct?
It was before. This is like when you put your papers in before you even do any testing or anything, even any combine or anything.
Got it. So
they basically grading you off your season.
Got you. So what were you getting? I'm sorry about that. What were you getting after your pro day?
Still kind of in that kind of time frame. Maybe now a little later, if I didn't improve like on my times and stuff like that. Like in the NFL, man, it's all about time.
Yeah, it is.
You'll never beat the clock. If you do a good 40, you sold them. If I would have got out there and ran like a 4.3, I probably would have been almost a first rounder, to be honest.
No, for sure. I mean, you because you just said it. You got a lot of people who get drafted off of the speed alone.
Mm-hmm.
So I get you 100% with that. So you ended up going. First of all, did you guys do a draft like party or anything?
Nah, I didn't do it. I had my family around. News crews and people wanted me to do like stuff like that, but me and my agent was like, nah, we ain't gonna do that. Just potentially what could have happened, and like what happened, I didn't go get drafted or anything like that. Like I didn't want all the cameras in my face and
Gotcha.
doing all that extra stuff.
How did you feel when you ended up ultimately going undrafted?
I don't know. I didn't really have no feeling. I knew I would get the opportunity somewhere, but
Right.
you always had that dream of being drafted.
Of course.
Regardless of what round, you always wanted to get your number, see your name going across that ticker saying you got, picked by Blase
Right.
Blah.
Right.
And
Exactly.
that was always a dream from any athlete or any football player. that's in the process of getting drafted. You want to see your name. You want people to see your name doing that. So, you know, it kind of hurt a little bit, but, you know, it's part of the nature of, you know.
Where you drink at, bro?
Oh, man, I just read up, man. I just read up.
So you ended up going undrafted, but then you ultimately end up signing with Pittsburgh to their practice roster?
Yes.
First of all, let me ask you this, bro. On the outside looking in, I think he's phenomenal. How was it playing for Tomlin? And did you have any interaction with Tomlin, like firsthand interactions with Tomlin?
Yeah, all the time, man. You know, he's definitely a player's coach, man. Like, for sure. He, you know, he set the standard as a standard. No matter if you like a first round pick, that guy in the organization or the bottom guy, he gonna treat you equal. You know, if you do something wrong, he gonna put you on blast in front of everybody. You do something good, he gonna put you on blast, no matter what position you are or what status you are. You're gonna get held accountable. He gonna show you love, or he gonna put you out there and say, "Hey, this person need to work on it." Even coaches, he did it all. He didn't sugarcoat nothing.
Did you and you actually was with Pittsburgh at the beginning of that season, like all the way through training camp and everything, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did a training camp. I did it all. I was with like the final few to make it to the 53-man roster or get cut. So I was like at the wire of everything.
Did you make it through the 53, or did you actually ultimately get cut and then brought back?
No, I got cut and then I got brought back. You know, if I didn't get picked up on the wire, they said they're gonna pick me right back up and put me on the practice squad. And I think they only can do like 7 or 8 people on the practice squad.
But you were one of those top 7 or 8 that they actually brought back. Okay, and then ultimately we end up getting a situation where you get into the game. I believe it was Christmas Eve, which was a dope Christmas gift, to say the least. Christmas Eve. What was it? 2011?
I think so. Yeah, 2011 or 2010, 2011.
Yeah, I'm gonna share this with you. Now, this is your Racine Hall of Fame induction, which we'll get to also in a second. But this was the best video I got for this.
First time ever touching the field. It was on the 10-yard line. I was like, if I don't score, then it might not be another chance that I get back in there.
Today, John Clay Jr.
So listen, bro, this is so dope. I want to bring this back because this is so dope. Because this is your very, very, very
this is my first
NFL rush, bro.
I was on the 10-yard line. I was like, if I don't score, then it might not be another chance that I get back in there.
Today, John Clay.
Bro, what? Like your very first? Which is crazy
that was
because
my first NFL everything. Yeah, my first NFL anything, from touching the field, being in the offense, being in the backfield, getting a carry. That was my first everything. So it was like, you know.
Did you know that they were going to call a running play?
No, I didn't. I thought it was going to be like a pass or something like that. So then when they called the running play, I was like, I kind of went blank. I was like, oh, man, I got to remember to play. Like, I got to, you know, watch the ball so I don't jump off sides or nothing like that. So, you know, when I found out it was a running play, I was like, there's a chance that I might get to score, man.
The nerves that you have at this point in time, what are your nerves going like at this point in time?
It's like, you know, it's like a dream come true about to happen. Like, I'm about to get a first carry in the NFL, and my mom and my dad and the family is watching right now, watching me on TV play. That's
dope. That's super dope, bro. And then, you know, of course, you know, it didn't, I don't want to necessarily say end the way that you wanted it to, but you ended up getting injured on like the next summer, and you ended up getting waived.
Yeah, I tore my quad in training camp. Like I was dealing with a nagging groin injury, and then my groin started feeling back better. And I was like, okay, I'm getting back to things. And as I got hit the wrong way, and I had my foot planted, and I just felt my, you know, my quad pop. So the big muscle went down 7.5 centimeters, you know, in my leg. I didn't have that surgery or nothing like that. It healed by itself, but just a timetable of it was going to
How the
take forever.
hell does
So
a
then,
quad end up going back up?
I have no idea, man.
Okay.
I was happy when I heard that I ain't had to have surgery. So
Right, nah, for sure.
And then we did like a settlement and all that stuff. So, you know, when I got back healthy and came back, that like I get picked up by any team right away, or I can come back to them, or whatever the case was.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the following year, I was the Bengals. That's when I tore my ACL with them.
Oh, talk about this, because I didn't, you know, I thought the Steelers was it.
Nah, I went to the Bengals. Yeah.
Talk.
Yeah, I went to the Bengals. They called and invited me to like the rookie mini camp. So
Okay.
they had like a 3-day mini camp, and they invited me there to work me out and practice and do all that other stuff. So, you know, I was doing my thing, healthy. I was back good, running, doing all that stuff. And, you know, I was doing like a zone play, and I broke it open, you know, ran down the field. Like, you know, they was like impressed and everything like that. But then I felt like a pop in my knee. And then I was like, all right, yeah, I'm good now. I was like, I'm done. I ain't gonna do another play or nothing like that. So I was fine, jogging back to the huddle. And they was like, hey, Clay, man, we're trying to see you run the ball again. So I'm like, I can't say no, you know,
Right.
to the coaches. Right. So then at the next
was
play.
that at that point in time, was it
Marvin Lewis?
Yeah, was it Marvin?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Marvin. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm doing a stretch play, and I plant, and I just felt my knee just give out. It just was like, I was like, threw the ball, grabbed my leg. I was like, man, something ain't right, man. I was like, I just laid there, and I was like, just quiet. And then I was like, okay, I can move it. So then I got up to help me up. And then I was able to jog off the field. I was running off the field. I was like, oh, shoot. Okay, I'm good. I was like, it's an MCL. That's 3 weeks. I'm all right. I'll bounce back from it. 3 weeks. And then overnight, my knee just blew up. I was like, man, that ain't right. I was like, right. So then it was like, come back in, whatever. You know, we'll get x-rays done. I was like, all right, cool. Then I had to see the doctor. He went in there and, you know, set the fluid out of my knee and all this other stuff. And then he was like, well, your season's over. You tore your ACL. And I was broke down in that office. I was like, dang, man, why me? Like, back years, I'm like, did I do something to the universe or something? I'm like,
no, for sure.
What, why me? And then, you know, being a running back, man, your shelf life is not long in general.
What do they say, like 3 to 4 years for a running back, typically, right?
Yeah. Not even that. This probably lower than that. Now it's like 2 years tops, something like that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like 2 years top because, you know, we're expendable. Like, ain't get another running back dime a dozen.
That's true.
It's whatever. If you ain't like something special. But, you know, and then they brought me back and made sure everything was all healthy. So I'm thinking, you know, it'll be a good chance that I make another little run for it. But, you know, NFL stands not for long, man.
That's exactly what I was about. I was literally going to say that, bro. Because it is not for long. You're absolutely right. Can you help me debunk a couple of rumors that yes or no? I was informed. I shouldn't say informed, but I heard before that you walked out of a Steelers practice because you wasn't getting along with Mike Tomlin.
That's a misconception of everything. So, and like I have this conversation with people all the time. It wasn't even.
So this ain't the first time you heard this.
No, it happened. This was my rookie year. You know, like, you know, I'm still green, like to everything. And then the running back coach was like, man, get out of here, man. Just get out of here. Just go to the locker room. He said something about like, just get off. He said, get off the field. So me being a rookie, I'm thinking like, man, go in the locker room and just, put your stuff up.
Oh, so you took it literally. Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, he was like, get off the field, man, get out of here. Because I was like, I wasn't doing too hot. So I'm like thinking like, I'm already distraught. Like they about to cut me today or whatever.
Yeah.
But then I started, so then when I hear that, like he's telling me to get off the field and, get out of here. Meaning like go put
you think he means it literally, right? For sure. Yeah.
So that's where that story is coming from. Like it's like people are making a big thing about it. It's like it's just a miscommunication, and me, I was being emotional. I'm like, all right, he won't be off the field, so I gotta get up out of here then. Like I'm thinking that in my head, like I gotta get out of here. He don't want me on the field. I'll try tomorrow or something like that, or later that day.
So what ended up coming out of that?
Nothing.
It
was nothing. It was just a miscommunication. We laughed about it, and that was it. And I was still on the team.
Okay, got you. Another misconception that I hear is that Ben is a jerk. Ben Roethlisberger.
I wouldn't say so. Like I had a locker. I was right next to him. Like my locker was, they called it the millionaire row. So I had like Ben Roethlisberger. I had Lamar Woodley. I had who else did I have? I had Pouncey. I had all those guys around me, and they was talking to me. Ben, like when we was rookie, he would kind of even talk to us, gave him this number. Like he was like, hey, if you guys ever need something, let me know. Give me a call. We got a whole bunch of nice steak restaurants around here. I can make a call for you guys if you want to get in there.
Yeah.
With you and your lady, or whatever the case is, that want to go get something to eat. I can put my name on there and get you guys in there ASAP, blah, 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 all this other stuff. He wasn't, he wouldn't go out your way to talk to you. But
no, but he
talked to him.
But he was cordial though. He was cordial.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then also, was you there when James Harrison was there?
Oh, absolutely, man. I got this cut under my chin because of him.
Let's talk. Okay, bet. Him did you ever have a chance to work out with James Harrison?
Work out with him? No. He did like his crazy workouts and all that stuff in the off season.
Right. That's what I'm
at his own places. Yeah, he was at his own little domain and all that stuff. But like in the Steeler facility, yeah, we would all work out together and stuff like that. So yeah, we worked out, but it was like what he does in the off season. When he does during the season, it's just maintaining. Like all that other crazy lifting, that was all in the off season to get ready. Mm-hmm.
The cut, what happened?
So on a practice squad, and I was playing tight end. I was trying to be like one of the tight ends. So one of the tight ends have to do is come back down and crack block on him. I was like, I'm about to get smacked.
Y'all try to line me up. Y'all set me up.
Yeah. And the defense, they know all the plays. They know the plays, so they know what's coming. Right. I'm trying to disguise it as much as I can, going in motion. And then I'm just scooting down the line, and he's standing there waiting basically for me. And then he just like, I don't know if he like powered up or something, but he just stood there. I was like, boom, and I hit him. Felt like I hit like a brick wall. And I'm calling it. Like,
that's a mammoth of a dude, bro.
I'm telling you, I hit him, and it felt like I hit a brick wall. All I could do was just like hold him and grab him. And then he's shorter, so he's underneath me and hit me under my chin. And he was like, man, good block, man, good block. I'm like, man, I'm holding on to you right now, trying not to fall over right now.
Right.
But he was cool,
he gave you the kudos. Good block.
Yeah. We used to have to go get some in blitz pickups all the time.
Yeah, that's dope.
In training camp.
That's dope. One last thing that I want to bring up is your induction to the Racine Hall of Fame. Which is nuts, bro. That's a great honor.
Racine Park's John Clay is part of an impressive list of Wisconsin Badgers running backs. He also led the Park Panthers to a state title in 2005, was named a high school All-American in 2006, and was a 2006 Wisconsin Football Coaches Association All-State selection.
He's an outstanding, individual for us that led us to a state championship. And he had tons of accolades all throughout the United States. Army All-American player his senior year. Just a well-rounded individual.
Recruited by some of the biggest college football programs in the country, Clay signed with the Badgers, taking his formidable skills to Madison.
It was an honor, just being, one out of thousands of kids to get offered a full scholarship to a big university. And on top of that, them wanting me and me wanting to be there to stay in my home state to, play in front of all my friends and family.
After being redshirted in 2007, Clay made his collegiate gridiron debut with the Badgers in the 2008 season, finishing the season with 884 yards and 9 touchdowns.
Bro, this is an honor,
in the
bro.
2009 campaign, Clay led the Big Ten Conference and ranked 8th in the country with 1,517 yards. His 18 touchdowns.
I think that's the most I ever seen you taunt somebody was when you got in the homeboy face right there. That's it.
John Clay Jr. was a first-team All-Big Ten selection and was named the 2009 Champs Sports Bowl.
Oh yeah, we had the trophy on the show.
Final game of that season.
The game, fourth quarter, and getting ready to start the fourth quarter, and it's a close game. Just the whole atmosphere in the student section, and the crowd, it's electrifying.
The start of the 2010 campaign began with Clay being mentioned as a potential Heisman Trophy candidate. Unfortunately, an MCL injury sidelined Clay for the last 3 games of the 2010 season, damaging his chances for a Heisman Trophy honor. But he was still named as one of the 3 finalists for the 2010 Doak Walker Award.
We definitely get into all of that. I just wanted to bring that to perspective, man, because that's crazy, bro. I always say when I'm talking to athletes, I've interviewed you, I've interviewed a couple of people who play in the NBA. I couldn't be famous, bro. Like, I couldn't be, because, like, not to say I wouldn't be able to adjust to it, but I'm not a cameras in my face type of guy. How often, let me ask you this real quick. How often do you still, when you go out someplace, do you get people asking for autographs?
A lot, man. I still do little signings here and there. Badger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I still do those. So it's like I'll be meeting people. It's like a meet and greet kind of deal. They buy autographs, sit down with them, hang out with them, sign.
So that's dope. So your likeness and everything, you're gonna be able to make bread off of that for the rest of your life. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I do like a couple events here and there and all that stuff. So right now, I'm doing stuff with me and Brian Calhoun. We do stuff together.
Really? That's dope. That's dope, bro. That's dope. Listen, man, from the bottom of my heart, man, I appreciate you for coming on. Really quick though, what is life for John Clay outside of football now?
I kind of never steer away from what I'm always used to, the norm. Family guy, I got kids, I got a family, I got a girl and all that stuff. So it's just being with my family. I always been that way. Just a family guy and just want to provide for my family and be around them. That never left me. I was always close with my sisters, close with my parents. We get together all the time still. So it's like, if it's not something to do with family or not events I'm doing, man, I'm home, just enjoying the love and life that I have.
How many events do you do a year, if you don't mind me asking?
It's random, man. I just did a Super Bowl party at Coin Sports Bar. Did that for the Super Bowl. So it was me and him. We had all our gear out there, from helmets to photos to whatever. People was coming up getting stuff signed and paying for it and all that stuff. So there's multiple events that I got coming up that they signed me up for. So it's like it's gonna start picking up, especially now football season. When the Badgers kick off, that's really when it kicks off.
Got you. Well, listen, man, once again, from the bottom of my heart, man, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to interview you, to tell your sports story. Let's do one more toast. Can you hear me? You got me? Okay, bet.
Yeah.
One more toast to life. That's a little drip, but I'm gonna let you get through with it. A life, health, wealth, and last
It's
but
already
not
full up.
okay, bet. Life, health, wealth. Last but not least, sports talk. Salute.
All right, man.
Bro, once again, I appreciate you, man. I am Alan Colbeezy Colburn, the host of Baseline to Goal Line, the illest sports podcast in the world. Peace and love, bro.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, man. I'll be seeing you at the gym soon then.
Yes, you will, my G.
All right, man. I appreciate it.